Now, before I begin, I have a question to all of you. Tell me, how many of you are really happy? And I mean, truly happy from inside. And please try to be at least honest with yourself. Could I see a show of hands? Okay. Now tell me, who all wants to remain happy most of the time? Please raise your hands again. Okay, that's nice. And I guess it's logical too, because all the actions and all the things that we're doing in our life is ultimately to achieve that happiness. But just take a moment and think about it. Is it even possible to be happy all the time? I guess not. And those who are or even trying to be happy all the time are either faking it or are pathologically psychopathic schizophrenic. I know it's a long term. You can Google it, the meaning of it afterwards. But the point here is even a small child or a baby who does not have any worries or problems in the world cannot be happy all the time. So, what makes you all think that we teenagers can remain happy in spite of the fact that this is a time when we are faced with most number of difficulties and challenges? Rather, it is an academic problem, a relationship problem, a girl problem, or even a guy problem. It's not possible to be in the state of happiness all the time. I don't know if anyone of you have been through this situation, but in my case, when I usually wake up in the morning, I like to be quiet. I'm not in very talkative mood, but there is always one guy or a friend who is hyper energetic and very happy, and of no reasons. Sometimes it's okay, but consistently and regularly, it kind of starts irritating. So the point here is happiness all the time can be annoying and tiring. And the best example of this could be the story of Gautam Buddha. His father was a king and did everything in his power to keep his son away from the sufferings of the outside world. He spoiled him, lavishing him with food and gifts, surrounding him with the servants who catered to his every whim. Despite all these attempts to keep his son away from the sufferings of the outside world, he still did not feel content with it. He felt very helpless, very empty from inside. So, why is it that we all crave for happiness all the time? Now, it's important to realize the fact to stop this craving that life in itself is a form of suffering. Pain and loss are inevitable, and we should let go of trying to resist them. Dissatisfaction and unease are inherent part of human nature and necessary component to creating that consistent happiness. These negative emotions are necessary in order for us to feel that happiness and to enjoy it. The emotional pain of failure and rejection is very necessary for us as it teaches us to not repeat the same mistakes again in the future. In simple terms, negative emotions are just basically a call to action. When you feel them, you are supposed to do something. Positive emotions are, on the other hand, rewards for taking proper actions. And everything in life comes with an inherent sacrifice. Whatever makes us feel good will eventually make us feel bad. What we will gain, also what we lose. This is a difficult pill to swallow. We all like the idea that there is some ultimate form of happiness that can be achieved. We like the idea that we can alleviate all our sufferings permanently. We like the idea that we can feel satisfied and content with our lives forever. But we cannot. Problems are constant. So don't hope for a life without problems because that is not possible. There is no such thing. Instead, hope for a life full of good problems, as happiness comes from solving these problems. The secret sauce is in the solving these problems, not in not having these problems in the first place. To be happy, we need something to solve. So therefore, happiness is a form of action. It's an activity, not something that is passively bestowed upon you. Happiness is a constant work in progress because solving problems is a constant work in progress. The solution to today's problem will lay the foundation for tomorrow's problem and so on. So the only way to achieve the true happiness is to find these problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. And this is the only way to achieve happiness. No self-help book, exercises, or gurus can make you happy, as nobody who is actually happy has to stand in front of the mirror and tell himself that he is happy. And a question that most people never consider in their life is that what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? As happiness requires struggle. It grows from problems. Joy doesn't sprout out of the ground just like daisies and rainbows. A real, serious, lifelong fulfillment and containment have to be earned through managing and choosing our struggles. Most of us strive for the reward and not the struggle. They want the result, but not the process. They love the victory, but not the fight. And that is not what life is all about. The joy is in the struggle itself. So what we are is defined by what we are willing to struggle for. And to sum it all up, don't look for the happiness all the time. It will again and again keep disappointing you. Just look for the problems, for challenges that you like solving, and that will result in everlasting happiness. Thank you. Over to the TMOD.